One of the biggest misconceptions that pisses me off so much is that renting is a complete waste of money and it's dead money or it's paying someone else's mortgage. It's bollocks. Firstly, you've got to ask yourself how long you're going to be in this property, because if it's less than 3 years, I can more or less promise you that it's going to cost a lot more money and effort to buy it than it is to rent it. And when you do then move and it's no longer your first home, the stamp duty and the other fees associated with it can very quickly total a year's worth of rent for that property. Secondly, what are you buying? Just like investing in individual companies in the stock market, the property that you've decided to buy isn't guaranteed to follow the rest of the market. 5 years ago, you might have thought it was a great idea to buy a flat in London, but on average, it would have declined by 17.1% when you account for inflation. However, if you had bought a house in a rural area, it would have performed significantly better. Renting is like going out for dinner. You know that it would probably be cheaper to go and buy the ingredients yourself, spend loads of time prepping and cooking it, and then washing up afterwards, but you're paying for the convenience. If you sit down at a Mexican and suddenly decide you want a pizza, you can up and leave. If there's a problem with the food, you can send it back. If you've been sat at the restaurant for a while looking at the menu and you suddenly decide that you can't afford it anymore, you can also go somewhere else. You get where I'm going with this. Now, I'm certainly not saying that you should never buy a house, because buying is not always bad and renting is not always good. I personally just feel sometimes that we're force-fed this narrative, particularly by our parents and our grandparents, that buying a house is the be-all and end-all and it's something that every single person should be striving for as soon as possible. And as someone who rents by choice, I don't want you to beat yourself up about it if you're in the same position as me.